everyone, welcome to another Spotty Dog Battle Report, Game 3 of Bognor Bash between myself and Brushy with his Empire of Sonnstahl. If you remember from the second report, I beat Chrissy's Dread Elf, so I was top of the table. Brush, I think, beat Patrick, so he is third. So yeah, let's have a look at the armies. So there's my list there, couple of Grudge Busters. Deep Watch with King, BSB and Smith, 24 Beards with shields and hand weapons, 20 Gunners with a Master Engineer in there, a couple of Engine Seekers, a Dragon Seeker naked, and an Anvil of Power. And then we got Brush's Empire Army. He's got Sword and Board Bunker for his General and his Wizard. He's got some Imperial Guard with great swords, with a BSB and a Preacher, I think. 10 Knights. There's actually a Preacher attached to those guys as well. 5 Reiters, 5 Knights, 2 Volley Guns, a Cannon, and a Steam Tank. Let's look at the lists in more detail. So his list to start with: then a Marshal, Army General, Hero Sword, Hardened Shield, Talisman of Greater Shielding. So I think that's like a 2 up, 4 up on foot, with +1 strength, +1 attack on the sword. Arch Wizard, level 4 fire with a scroll, Flame Jet, Fireball, Burning Rampart, Smouldering Embers. BSB, Great Weapon, I think Blessed Armor of Frederick the Great. I think that's 1 up save. Could be wrong, I don't know the Empire book at all. Talisman of Shielding, 6 up. Engineer, basically. Then he's got a Preacher with a Flail, Barded Warhorse, Heavy Armor, Ruby Ring, I think, but I'm not sure how many points that was. Brush's list was basically it was wrong, so we had to do a little bit of editing prior to the tournament, and I didn't get the points. He's got a Preacher on foot with a Flail, 40 Swordsman, that's his Bunker for his General and his Wizard, 10 Cav, Lance, his Shield, Banner of Speed. But as you'll see, I don't think they actually move. 5 Cav, Lance and Shield, 30 Imperial Guard with Great Weapons, full command, 5 Reiters, Volley Gun, Cannon, Steam Tank. On my list, yeah, you've seen it before, but I'll run through it very quickly. Dwarven King on War Throne, General. He's basically really killing against anything T5 or higher. He does D3 wounds regardless, and his Strength 5 becomes Strength 10 against T5 or greater. Master Engineer with a Forge Repeater, he goes in the Gunners. Usual build on the BSB, you've seen this if you watch my reports regularly. T6, you've got to reroll to wound him, and he comes with a Great Weapon. Runic Smith, yeah, stuff. 2 up save, Magic Res 2, 2 up ward against fire, and his spells are Gleaming and Metal, so hard target, distracting, and reroll failed armor saves. Dragon Seeker with paired weapons. 20 Clan Marksman, full command, Gildcrafted Guns, +1 to hit. 24 Greybeards, full command, Banner of Speed. Special, we've got 22 Deep Watch, full command, War Standard. Rare, we've got an Anvil of Power with Gleaming, Shattering, and Storm. So Gleaming again, duplicate of what the Smith's got. Hard target, distracting. Shattering is 2d6 strength 4 hits, plus a load of other gumph. Dangerous terrain test 1, and -1 to hit in combat if you cause a wound on the target unit. And Storms, which is basically d6 strength 6 hits with lightning, so anything flying takes an extra d6 strength 4 hits. Those 3 spells there, I've got a 36 inch range. A couple of Engine Seekers and a couple of Grudge Busters. Let's get to deployment. Alright, so this was the 3rd battle, so it was the 3rd objective in the book, which was capture the flags, I think it's called. Brush put all of his army down first, so I followed up like this. We'll look at Brush's army in a second. I've got a Vengeance Seeker on the right there. I've got 24 Greybeards guarding the Anvil. Then we've got the Gunners back in the middle, Dragon Seeker next door, Vengeance Seeker, couple of Blimps, and then right over to the left, facing off with his cavalry, trying to pin him in, is my King's unit. 22 Deep Watch with Battle Standard Bearer and Runic Smith. Let's see what Brush does. Or let's see what he has done rather. So he's got his Cav over on his right flank with Preacher. I think though, looking at that, I think he's deployed 1 too many Cav, hasn't he? He's got 10 in his list, he's got 11 there. whatever. I'm not bothered. Then he's got a volley gun. Then he's got a cannon. There's actually an engineer there somewhere between those two. Steam tank. Then he's got his sword and board bunker. Then he's got his great swords, Imperial Guard. Then he's got another volley gun. Next to volley gun, he's got his right. No, there is electoral cav. Yep, and there's Reiters all the way over on the left flank. Let's get to vanguards. So yeah, I think I vanguard first, and he follows up with the Reiters there. Yeah, so that guy's just running straight towards those war machines, basically buying the gunners the turn of not being shot at, because he's got to shoot. He's basically got to shoot that Dragon Seeker with that volley gun, otherwise the Seeker's going to be right up there. So yeah, forcing the issue really. Then yeah, because he dropped first, he elected to roll to go first, and this is his movement phase. So he moves the cav up like so. The two blocks in the middle don't move yet, I don't think. I think he's worried about getting shot by the gunners, and the steam tank goes maybe 7 inches, something like that. Yep, everything else just stays still. Yep, they move around the flank. I was wondering what was going on. I'm looking there thinking, surely it can't be the dwarves' turn already. No, his Reiters move up like so to come and harass the greybeards. Okay, so magic is wizard. Tries to cast fireball on the gunners, kills 1. 2 even, kills 2 of them. But miscasts and kills 8. Yeah, 8 swordsmen. Pretty happy with that. Shooting, organ gun. Yeah, puts 2 wounds on the Dragon Seeker. Only just kills it though. Needed all the shots to get through. And then, right, okay, so yeah. In typical Maka fashion, I've completely neglected to take photos of my turn. I don't think I moved much. My King's Unit march up there full 9 on the left flank, and I think maybe the Greybeard. You'll see there is a photo at some point. You'll see maybe end of turn shot or something, but things do move a little bit, but not much. But in the magic phase, I get Rune of Shattering on these boys and kill them off. And Rune of Gleaming. Oh yeah, I get Rune of Gleaming on my anvil for an extra -1 to hit because of his cannon on his steam tank. And I get Rune of Gleaming on these boys as well. No, I didn't. Oh, come on, wake up. Okay, so I didn't get Rune of Gleaming on the anvil. That was just showing that it was the anvil who killed the Reiters. But I do get Rune of Gleaming on these boys to protect them from the organ gun next turn. Alright, so Empire turn 2, he decides now's the time to move up. He moves his knights up. The steam tank goes about 17 inches, I think. Oh, something stupid. And it's right up in front of the gunners, so I don't really know what to do about that. I think I try and shoot it off in the next turn, but we'll see. Yeah, everything else moves up. The Vengeance Seeker, as you can see, my turn turned round to face the Reiters, and just in case the Shattering didn't go off, just to try and halt those guys, but it did. It killed them, so he's kind of there, but he's in a good position to come and intercept those knights now. Yep, and that's just a picture of kind of really to show you what I did last turn. So the Blimp, the Seeker, and the King's Unit have all moved up. They're full amount. So the cannon, what's the cannon doing? Shooting with the Blimp, but he misses. The organ gun kills off 2. Deep Watch, I was kind of worried about that, but I think the Rune of Gleaming helped a little bit. -1 to hit, he's over half, -1 to hit, so he's hitting on, with the Engineer's help, he was hitting on 5s, but yeah, kills 2, I was worried. Steam Tank has a go at the Anvil, I think. Yeah, but doesn't hit. I'd actually forgotten that this Anvil was actually entrenched. The Engineer gives it hard cover, which I forgot about, but it didn't matter. It didn't hit anyway. And that's just a picture of the end of the turn, I think. He can't have got anything done in his magic phase. I would have noted it down or taken a photo. Maybe I scrolled something. I can't remember, to be honest. But he doesn't like he's killed anything. He doesn't like he's got any cards behind any of his troops. So yes, it must have been a non-event. They got a Dwarven Holds turn 2. If you saw in the previous photo, those greybeards are actually facing to the right. They've reformed. The Vengeance Seekers moved up to intercept those knights there. The gunners obviously there is going to stand still and try and shoot off the tank. Yeah, right. Blimp moves round. Learnt my lesson. I was in view of the cannon. I thought I was out last turn, but I've moved it behind that piece being passable. The king's unit, the blimp, and the seeker move up there full amount just to try and get into those what do you call them, knights. They're one of the banners that I've selected. I think I've selected his knights, his swordsman, and his imperial guard. So the other three I've chosen. I only have three, so he's chosen my deep watch, my handgunners, and my greybeards as the banners. Yeah, I should picture of those guys there. Dwarven Holds shooting. Yeah, I'm hitting the damn thing on 2s, but yeah, basically I just put 1 wound on it. It's to be expected. I was hoping for a little bit more. Yeah, 1 wound on the damn thing. I think the blimp even had a shot. Yeah, 1 wound. I should have pictured there of the seeker going to intercept those guys. Okay, so yeah, obviously nothing happened in the magic phase, so we go to Empire Sonnstahl turn 3. Excuse me, I said a couple of ciders. Steam tank makes it into the front of the gunners. These guys in the middle kind of turn to face my unit. Not quite sure why he did that, but he did. Again, nothing happened in his magic phase, so we go to shooting. And yeah, he didn't kill any. I was thinking maybe there's another photo there, but yeah, he didn't kill any deep watch by the looks of things. So we got a combat here, and the steam tank into the marksman kills 5 of them. Ouch. Yeah, I don't do anything in return. Obviously, I'm wounded on 6s. An overview of the field as it stands. Yeah, what was I thinking at this point? I'm kind of thinking that the marksmen are dead. I'm thinking that his knights are in a really bad position down at the bottom right there because my greybeards are going to get into the flank, so that's cool. I'm going to get points there. I'm going to try and put the blimp into the front of the knights at the top there, just to hold them, stop them moving anywhere, so that they're not going to move around the buildings. Give my king's guard, my king's unit the run around. So blimp's going to go into the front of those boys, try and hold them up a little bit. And the seeker is going to try and stop those swordsmen, I think. I'm going to chaff those guys up, but we'll see in a second. So we're Dwarven Holds 3, yep, so there you go. There's the greybeards into the side of the knights. The seeker moves up to intercept the Imperial Guard up front there. Now I debated putting the red blimp into the side of the steam tank. If it hadn't been unbreakable, I think I would charge in a flank and some potential strength 5 grinds, but what's the point? It's better off at killing infantry, so I decided, in fact I actually failed the charge. I wanted to put it into the I was trying to put it into the front of his general's unit, but it failed its charge and just kind of stumbled around there. But the blue blimp at the top did make it into the front of the knights there, the electoral cav, and the other seeker did make it in front of his swordsman. So there you go, that's that guy hitting the front. Magic, I get Rune of Shattering on his Hellblaster, and you'll see the sequence of events. There you go, 3 wounds, it's gone. Boom, well and truly shattered. I try with the Rune of Storms on the volley gun, just cause a wound, but yeah, that's okay. And then Dwarven Holds combat, yeah, kill them. Actually, I caused 3 wounds, but I've got charge, banner, 3 ranks to his nothing. He loses, he flees, and we get him. We run them down. We nearly run to the edge of the table, but I'm thinking, oh my god, they're horrifically out of position now, like really bad. So we'll see if I can get those guys back in the game at some point. Combat over here, I think I've killed 1 with impact hits, and he's done a couple of wounds, but he wins combat, but with my BSB and my king being so close behind, it's not an issue. I hold, thank God. Over here, has he killed any more? Of course he has. He's killed 4 more, and again, I don't do any wounds in return, so, but I'm steadfast. Hold on. Over here, the Vengeance Seeker, I put all my attacks into his Preacher, because I can potentially kill him, and it doesn't matter if I only kill 2 or 3 great swords, but if I can get rid of his hatred, then it's not such as, I mean, it's still a scary block, but it's not so scary. So I swing and, oh, I do kill. There was a photo somewhere. I do kill his Preacher. Um, yeah, I put some attacks on some of his swordsmen and maybe kill them in this combat, but he does ultimately kill me. I think his general kicks my face in. I don't know what all these photos are right now, to be honest. Oh, that was him charging me, wasn't it? Oh, I'm getting well and truly lost. Yeah, he's charged me there. Oh my god, I'm getting lost here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was totally his turn, wasn't it? Yeah, shooting. He kills another couple of deep watch. What am I doing? God knows. Yeah, there we go. Look, I've killed looks like 1 swordsman, and he's finished him off there in the combat. Gets a reform. And over here, yeah, look, I've killed this Preacher. Okay, I knew I was right. I was just slightly getting ahead of myself. But then he kills me in return. All those attacks back at strength 5. Yeah, it's enough. And he gets an overrun into these boys. It was like a 10 overrun or something, but he made it. Fair enough. Straight into the gunners, and yeah, he kills them. Although I'm not really sure he should have overrun twice there. Looking at that. Yeah. I think we did that wrong, didn't we? Whatever. Whatever. He's made it into my anvil. Yeah. Definitely done that wrong, haven't we? He couldn't have overrun twice, surely. Or did my gunners flee? No, I think my gunners fled. I think my gunners fled, and he pursued. Yeah. I think that's legal. Yeah, that's what happened. He didn't kill all the gunners, but he sort of pursued and ran into fresh combat into my anvil. So yeah, pretty sure that's what happened. Dwarven Holds 4, yeah, I don't have a photo, but they charge the knights and make it. It looks like at the top there, he'd done another couple of wounds on a blimp, but it held again. Dwarven Holds magic. I get Rune of Gleaming on the anvil. Brush wasn't happy. Not happy at all. And then yeah, we got a combat, and yeah, kill the knights, smash into them with hatred. Bang, strength 5 on the charge, armor piercing, kill them to a man, get a reform like so. The blimp at the bottom there has made it into the side of his general's unit. I'm just looking to hold them up so I can then hit him in the front with these boys the turn after next, or that my next turn rather. But you'll see what happens. I go in and I kill 5 of them. He does 2 wounds in return, but I've got a charge. I've basically got 6 to his whatever. I beat him by 1, I think. Run him down. I go straight through him. Oh my god, he wasn't happy. He's such a nice guy, Bruce. That was awful luck. And I'm like 2 inches away from actually running into his Hellblaster as well. That would have just topped it off for him. So that's a banner gone. Your general and his wizard, as well as about 300 points of core or 250 points of core or something like that. So that's a massive point swing right there. And yeah, he doesn't do anything to my anvil, and I actually kill an Imperial Guard, I think. As you can see as well, the Greybeards have moved up to get a flank charge on these boys potentially. Oh no, he does kill one. He did kill one. But he's not happy about that gleaming mode about it. Empire of Sonnstahl turn 5. His cannon moves up. He didn't roll enough to get into the Greybeards. But he's going to shoot them, I think. Yeah, that's his engineer. His engineer moves up to chaff this unit. stop me getting into the cannon basically. Organ Gunner opens up on the blimp, leaves it on 1 wound. Cannons off 2 greybeards, and then with his steam gun he kills another one. Dwarven Holds turn 5. King charges out of unit into the cannon. My BSB charges out into his engineer, who flees. My BSB then redirects into the cannon, and the Deep Watch just kind of hang around there. Greybeards. Now, this was an error on my part. The Greybeards hit the side of the Imperial Guard, but I'd forgotten his BSB was in there. So I'm thinking, strength 5 on the charge. I've got hatred against this unit. Higher weapon skill, hitting on 3s, killing him on 2s basically. No, wounding him on 2s. He's got plate armor, hasn't he? Wounding him on 2s. I'm going to win by loads here. He's only got 4 attacks back. What I'm forgetting is he's still got his BSB in there. He's got bodyguard. He's stubborn. Stupid me. Anyway, so yeah, it was only when I did it and moved them in, Brush was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I was gonna break you, mate." He's like, "I've got bodyguard," and then I looked, and there's the bloody BSB at the other side of the unit. Anyway, so yeah, Greybeards into there. Blimp charges into the organ gun there. Yeah, seeing the error that I've made, I get the anvil to cast Rune of Gleaming on the Greybeards, because I know that he's going to fight to a reform. He's probably going to kill my anvil this turn, and then he's going to reform, and it's going to be a front fight, and I don't really want much of that. So yeah, I get Gleaming on the Greybeards, thinking next turn. Yeah, Blimp finishes off the organ gun and reforms. Cannon and King and BSB smash up the cannon and overrun, I think, which makes the engineer flee even more. Yeah, like that. I don't catch him. I think that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe we did that wrong. Maybe his engineer should have just died, right? Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I kill loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? Yeah, 8 great swords. Imperial Guard. He does finish off the anvil, but he is steadfast. He passes on his reroll, and yeah, he gets a reform like so. And I know I'm in a world of pain next turn. I'm relying on those 6-up parries basically. Empire Sonnstahl 6. His engineer continues to flee. Yeah, tanking the side of the Greybeards. Yeah, it's just a picture of my units at the top there. I kill a lot again. I've killed 8 more greatswords, but with grinding attacks and greatsword attacks, he kills 6 greybeards. I lose. Am I steadfast? No, but I hold. So yeah, there's not a lot left to do. So Dwarven Holds 6 and shooting, because there's no point in me casting any magic. Being that the unit with the smith in, bearing in mind the anvil's dead now, the unit with the smith in is way out of the way and it's not going to benefit from any of the spells. So the blimp moves up, shoots off the engineer, kills him, points. That unit goes and collects the king of the PSP again. Taxi service. Combat, yeah. Right, so he beats me up again with grinds and attacks from the great swords. I've got no gleaming on this turn because the anvil's dead. Smith's not in range. He kills me. He kills a lot of them. But I flee and get away. But he does get 50% of the points, but thankfully not 100%. He obviously got my banner as well. And that's kind of how it stands at the end of the game. So in terms of objectives, we both got 1 unit left, so the objectives don't count. We've kind of drawn in that respect. The objective is shared, but points left on the table, I've got more than him. He's basically just got a unit worth about 350 points and a BSB plus a tank. I've got over 1,000 points in that block, plus like 200 points in that greybeard unit, plus 165 well, no, he gets half of that, doesn't he? About 80 points worth of blimp. So I'm winning on points. I've won the game basically. Um, yeah, let's see the scores. So it was a 14-7 in the end. I consider myself a little bit lucky there. When that blimp went straight through his general's unit, but his BSB was so far away he didn't get a reroll. So that kind of thing can happen, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure it's happened to us all. You just one bad dice roll loses you the game. Other than that, mistakes that I made that weren't too costly in the end was the greybeards into the side of his great swords, but I kind of got away with that, really. But I need to be a bit more careful. Think about things through a little bit rather than just seeing an exposed flank and going for it. I should have been, a bit more savvy about that. But yeah, that was definitely an error. All the things that I maybe did wrong, can't really think of anything, to be honest. His steam tank surging forward like that, getting, I think it was like a 16 or 17 inch move, that kind of took me by surprise and put me right on the back foot. Those gunners have got no chance against that, against a 1+ armor saved monstrosity like that. So well done to Brush there, getting the tank straight into the gunners. It got some good points there. The tank, it got the gunners, and it helped get the anvil, didn't it? It held up the gunners long enough so that the great swords could get through to the anvil. So tank MVP for Brush, I think. Yeah, again, my Kingsguard, I keep calling him Kingsguard. Yeah, there is Kingsguard. There is personal guard. My King's unit, absolutely unstoppable. Just brilliant, really, really good. I see people moaning about that unit, that it's not powerful enough on the forums. I don't know what they're talking about. I really don't. That unit there, nobody's killed it yet. Like this this game is like I think it's 4 wins on the trot. I didn't report one of the games, but that's like 4 victories on the trot for me. This game, and I've had more games after that, and nobody killed that unit yet. Like, I've played lots of different armies. I've played Vampire Covenant. I've played Kingdom of Equitaine. Played Warriors of Chaos, and nobody's had an answer for that unit. So you can't tell me that it's not powerful enough. It is. On its own, no, it's not. But it's not there to be powerful. It's there to hold stuff up. It's there to not give combat res away. It's there to be a tar pit. And with bodyguard as well, stick a runesmith in there with a 2+ armor save and a shield, then it's just not going to go anywhere. It's powerful. It's a great unit. The only time it's ever going to struggle is if somebody comes in with divine attacks. So maybe like Change Warriors or Bretonian Lord or somebody with the divine icon or something like that. It's the only time it's going to struggle. But then you just have that Smith have Rune of Metal for reroll armor saves. I really don't see a problem with it. Anyway, brilliant MVP. That unit again, they just harvest so many points and just don't give anything away. They're absolutely brilliant. I think I've got my banners the wrong way around though. I think they don't need the war banner, the war standard, that unit. So in future versions of this list, you'll see the war banner come off, and it's either replaced with a movement banner or just no banner at all, just to keep them cheaper. And if anything, the greybeards need the war banner just to help those guys out a little bit. Other than that, I think this list is working really, really well. So yeah, anyway, so 14-7, that puts me top of the leaderboard. Chris beat Patrick, so he's second. So at the end of the day, bearing in mind this is Saturday, I'm top of the league. Chris is second, Brush is third, and Patrick is fourth. So we're going to Sunday, which sees basically the top 2 play each other, and the third and fourth play each other. It's basically like a final. So even though I'm way ahead on points at the end of Saturday, if Chris beats me tomorrow with his Dread Elves, then he wins, which is interesting. So yeah, that's the next battle report. Another rerun of Dwarven Holds versus Dread Elves, and we'll see if I can make it 4 wins in 4. Yeah, Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this again. Leave your comments, subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon. See you later.